Alright everybody, my name is Kevin Tidwell. I am the current Vice Chief of Inductions for Muskogee Lodge, and welcome to the first virtual Elangomat training for the year of 2020. So basically what we're going to be going over in this is how to be an effective Elangomat during the ordeal. So first of all, most people ask, what is an Elangomat? So what the word Elangomat means in Lene Lenape is friend. Elangomats can be compared to patrol leaders and candidates as patrol members. So technically you are the person that is leading your clan and making sure that they get all 4 of their tests effectively and efficiently done. So before check-in out at camp, when you before you arrive to the ordeal, some of the things to know is an Elangomat should live up to the scout motto and be prepared. Make sure you are ready for the ordeal, whether it's going through the packing list that is available on our website, or making sure that you're reasonably packed and making sure you're not packing at the last minute. And make sure to arrive early to prepare. So now what we're going to be going through are the tests of the ordeal and what you must do as an Elangomat. So test 1 is the vow of silence. Elangomats set examples to the candidates to follow through with all tests. Refrain from talking to candidates and other Elangomats unless absolutely needed. Really try not to talk, whether you, unless it's an absolute emergency. That would be the only times that I would really allow talking, or maybe something that you can't really describe with basic hand gestures. So remember, the vow of silence is lifted after the ordeal ceremony. Make sure that they catch on to that. Sometimes when you go through the ordeal ceremony at the end, a lot of people don't catch that, and you'll see guys sitting in silence, and then later they'll ask, hey, can we talk now? And that's not really good. So the next test is scant food. Remember, meals will be delivered to your clans at work sites. There'll be breakfast in the morning, a lunch, and then dinner after the ordeal ceremony. So you guys there should be plenty enough food. Remember, it's small amounts of food, but it's enough to get by during the ordeal. So refrain from sneaking food to eat. Remember, you set the example in making sure that your clan gets each of their tasks done efficiently. So another thing is, a scout is referent. You can give a small gesture that silent prayer is allowed if they wish to. Test 3 is the arduous labor. To fulfill this test efficiently, you must be the person to lead in the work. Remember, you set the example. Much like a patrol leader, others will follow what you do. So if you're around slouching and not really doing anything, sitting around, usually like a herd of cats, they'll just sit there and not do anything. So really make sure that they're getting their work done for the day. They're service projects that need to get done, and we need to have them done during the time that we want them to get done. Regularly take 5-minute breaks for water. We need to make sure that everybody is drinking plenty of water, because if they're not drinking water, they're going to get dehydrated, and that's just a big mess that we don't need. Remember to work as a team. The Order of the Arrow is the Brotherhood of Cheerful Service. So as the Brotherhood of Cheerful Service, we work as a team to get everything done, and that's really something that we need to set up for them to realize. Also, make sure to return all tools to their proper area. For example, up near the camp office, where all the wheelbarrows and stuff, if you're doing something with those, they need to be returned afterwards. Alright, test 4 is the night alone. Elangomats sleep out as if they were candidates. There's no sneaking off and sleeping in the Adirondacks. You guys need to make sure that you guys are sleeping in a central area so you will be able to hear all the candidates during the night, in case there's an emergency or something. So remember, there's no talking with other Elangomats. Usually some of the areas that we sleep out at, like the shotgun and rifle range, they're pretty echoey, and that's not setting a good example for them if the candidates hear you talking, and that wouldn't be good. So remember, candidates will be tired and will want to sleep, so make sure that you don't disturb them by, talking and things like that. So after the ordeal, the job really begins. Your job as an Elangomat does not end after the ordeal ceremony. It is your job as their first contact with the OA to make them feel welcome and excited to be there. After the ordeal, do things like eat the dinner with them and breakfast, and just talk about your experience with the OA. Encourage them to attend events outside of the ordeal, like fellowships, and follow up with them for 10 months. Make sure that they can seal their membership in the Order of the Arrow. So there could be the possibility of you even earning a special patch that we'll talk about at the end. Yes, the event ends Friday/Sunday, depending on whether it's at the Spring Ordeal or the Summer Super Fellowship. But the ordeal is a lifelong commitment, ending with the Brotherhood membership when you seal it. Some important things to know are the don'ts of serving as an Elangomat. As an Elangomat, be prepared to serve in that capacity to its entirety. So make sure that you will be able to be there at the ordeal the entire time. Make sure you don't have any prior obligations like the ceremonies team. Or, for example, if you're the ordeal chairman, make sure that you are actively participating in your role. So, next thing to remember is water, the success of any ordeal. Make sure that each ordeal candidate is drinking plenty of water, at least 2 quarts during the day. Water coolers will be distributed at the beginning of the service projects. Remember, it is your responsibility to keep up with that cooler. Make sure that it is returned to the dining hall at the end of the ordeal. If your clan is in need of water, call somebody at the dining hall, the food and service chairman, whoever it is at the time. When we have our Elangomat meetings, all the numbers will be distributed, and that would definitely be a good thing to call to make sure everybody's getting enough water. So here are some of the emergency procedures, pretty basic. Administer basic first aid. This is basic first aid, first class requirement stuff. But if there's something major, like a major emergency, call someone at the dining hall. A team will be sent to you. Do not move the person who is hurt. So when the people get there, follow all the instructions. And remember, talking is allowed in case of an emergency. Remember, safety first. We want to make sure that everybody is going through the ordeal safely and efficiently. So now we're going to go over the induction principles of the Order of the Arrow. So first of all is the purpose of the Order. What is the purpose of the Order? It's the Brotherhood of Cheerful Service. We are meant to provide efficient service to our council and local area. So the next thing is eligibility. Eligibility is simply this, making sure that everybody can actively participate in the ordeal. If they have disabilities and things like that, making sure that we assign certain different things for them to do based upon their skill set. The next thing is candidate and membership compliance, making sure that everybody is on task. Remember, you set the example for the ordeal candidates, so it's important to make sure that you are following in all the 4 tasks throughout the day. The next thing is discretion. A big part of the Order of the Arrow is the mysterious aspect of it. We don't tell everybody what goes on in it, but for example, if any parents are interested in what goes on, they're free to contact the lodge advisor and talk about what goes on during the ordeal, and even let them preview the ceremony to make sure that it's okay for their child to go do it. So next thing is generosity. Well, this is another important aspect of just scouts in general. Generosity, whether it's giving service to our community or even service to our camp, that's the whole point of the ordeal. It's to help out our camp, Camp Barstow, efficiently get through service projects that cannot be done with the camp ranger alone. So the next thing is focus. We want to make sure that we're on task and getting our service projects done on time. If we end up having extra time, there's plenty of stuff to be doing out at Barstow. Just make sure to contact myself or the next Vice Chief of Inductions so we can make sure that we have enough projects for you guys to do. So the next thing is symbolic progression. So the ordeal builds to a big giant crescendo at the end. It's really just a symbolic stepping ladder to go through each of the membership elements of the Order of the Arrow, whether it's ordeal, brotherhood, or even vigil. So next thing is active membership. Active membership is incredibly important. We want these new candidates who will soon become members to stick around for the longest time they can. We want to make sure that they are active and they participate regularly inside of our events. Our whole goal is to make sure that they seal their membership with Brotherhood after their 10 months. So next we're going to talk about award patch that you guys can earn as Elangomats after completing your training and going through some ordeals. So essentially the requirements are: seal your membership in the Order by earning the Brotherhood honor, be trained as Elangomat, which is what you're doing now, serve as an assistant Elangomat during an ordeal, serve as an lead Elangomat during an ordeal, stay in contact with your clan for at least 1 year and encourage regular participation, and to get 50% of your clan to seal their membership through the Brotherhood honor. Now this may sound pretty easy, but there's a reason that not many people have earned this award. A lot of Elangomats end up skimping out and don't want to do the work on it. But remember, this is quite important. You are the first contact that these guys are going to get with the Order of the Arrow at most times. And it's important that you guys set a good example and about telling them about events. Looking back to after the ordeal, the job just starts. And this is an important way to honor those Elangomats that continue their service with their clan and even the lodge. And that's going to be the end of our Elangomat training. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this video. If you have any questions, make sure to shoot me an email at vcinductions@muskogeelodge.org. And y'all have a good day.